Hey everybody, Sue here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so very much for coming by today. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, so thank you so very much for popping in. And I hope everyone is having a terrific day out there today. So today we're going to get to a kind of a 1970s sort of pop classic by a duo that we have never done before on the channel. We're going to get to Loggins and Messina and their 1973 song, Your Mama Don't Dance. This should be a very cool one to check out. I haven't heard this song in years. I just don't hear it on the radio at all anymore, which is a shame because it's still kind of a fun song to hear every once in a while. And if you guys could do me the big favor before we get going on any of this, to actually like the video and subscribe to my channel because it really does help me to grow. And don't forget to click on that little notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, because I put videos up every single day and you don't want to miss them when they land. Okay, here we go from 1973, Loggins and Messina and Your Mama Don't Dance.
Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. When evening rolls around and it's time to go to town, where do you go? To rock and roll. The old folks say that you gotta end your day by 10. If you're out on a date and you bring it home late, it's a sin. Just ain't no excuse, and you know you're gonna lose and never win. I'll say it again, and it's all because your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. When evening rolls around and it's time to go to town, where do you go? To rock and roll.
You know, this is a really kind of cool song, and it really is very reminiscent of something that you would have heard maybe in the 1950s or early 1960s. Really has that throwback kind of feel with the piano and the horns, the saxophone. And it's kind of funny too, because it's coming from, I guess the whole premise is coming from younger people that are basically, the problem is, of course, it's a generational sort of gap, I guess, and that your mama doesn't, you know, dance, your daddy does rock and roll, and that's the problem with your parents, and they just don't seem to understand us, that sort of, that misunderstood kind of youth. But it's interesting because it's coming from the 1970s perspective, but at the time, their parents were probably people that grew up in the 50s. And so I think that's actually kind of interesting, where it's like they're really kind of honoring the music of their parents' time a little bit, but obviously they're just not getting with what was going on in the 1970s. Anyway, very cool. I love that. It's almost like got a boogie woogie kind of feel in a way to that piano. Some really kind of cool guitar work. I mean, it's a fun sort of classic rock and roll, but with a little bit of, it's kind of got a little bluesy overtones every once in a while as well, but very cool. And the guys sound so great together. They kind of have really cool harmonies, and their voices just blend so well together, which I think is very, very cool as well. Now, this song did fairly well in some places. It did number 4. It hit the number 4 on the US charts, and it hit number 5 here in Canada, and it hit number 11 on the New Zealand charts, and a couple places like the Netherlands and stuff. It was about in the top 20, but it wasn't really like one of those big international hits, I don't think. So if you guys have, like, maybe my European friends, if you want to tell me anything about, was this song, even in the UK, was this song at all played? I'm not too sure. So, but a very cool song nonetheless. All right, let's rewind this a wee bit.
Go to town, where do you go to rock and roll?
Out of the car, long hair!
Louie, you're coming with me, the local police. And it's all because your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. When evening rolls around and it's time to go to town, where do you go to rock and roll? Where do you go to rock and roll? Where do you go to rock and roll?
That is still a fun song. It really does hold up as kind of one of those kind of pop classics from the 1970s. There were so many cool kind of pop songs in the 1970s that were really upbeat and fun, and this was one of them. They just had so many of them. Anyway, absolutely great. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. And I really like the section right near the end where most of the instruments kind of drop back. There's a few of them playing still, and then you can just hear the guy singing. That really is great. There's something about a drop that always adds like kind of some drama or kind of just a little extra punch to a song, which I really like a lot. Anyway, if you guys like Loggins and Messina and you'd like me to do more of their stuff, please put it down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to check it out. I think this was probably their biggest hit, but they did have other songs that I do know of, but there could be plenty of them that I'd never heard of before. I really don't know tons of songs by them, so if you guys do, put it down in the comments, like I said, and I'd be more than happy to check it out. And if you'd like to hear some other songs that I've done in the past, just look up here at the end of this video. They could be reactions or reviews that I've done over the course of the channel, and if you haven't seen them before, you may want to check them out. Okay, everybody, I think that wraps it up for the day. But before we go, if you really enjoyed what I did today, you may want to consider becoming a member of my channel. And if you do, all you have to do is click on that join button. It'll tell you all about the options and perks, etc. And if any of them appeal to you, you could join my community. And I want to thank you for considering that in advance. All right, everyone, have a joyful day, and I will see you all again next time. Thank you so very much for stopping in today. Bye-bye.